Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, at this stage in the EU referendum campaign, the majority of MPs have announced their voting intentions. But there are a few who are still making up their minds, some who are even switching sides. This week, John Mann and Dennis Skinner put the number of Labour MPs declaring they'd vote to leave the EU into double figures. It's now a grand total of 10. And Labour MP Khalid Mahmood announced he's joining the campaign to keep Britain in the European Union after previously backing the campaign to leave. Khalid Mahmood joins us from our Birmingham studio. John Mann is in the Nottingham studio. John Mann, let me come to you first. You've said you're now going to vote to leave. You told us that on Friday. Why did you leave it so late to declare?
We've got to weigh up all the issues. These are not straightforward decisions. You know, the big question for me is, the EU's broken, fundamentally broken. Can it be reformed from the inside or not? And my conclusion is that it can't be. And one of the reasons is David Cameron's negotiations, where even on the absurdity of child benefit being paid to children who've never been in this country, he couldn't get agreement on that. And it's because the structures of the European Union don't allow that kind of common sense change to take place. If it's there in the rules, it can't be changed.
Khalid Mahmood, you've previously backed the campaign to leave. You now think we should remain. You say you're worried about the threat to workers' rights if we leave the EU. How have you only realised that now?
No, I haven't realised that now. I think what I wanted to do to start off with is look at a wider agenda and look at the Commonwealth and how we can work economically to try and resolve that. A lot of the debate hasn't been around that. A lot of the debate has focused on issues that really have tried to frighten people, particularly on the Leave side, as well as people, trying to contextualise the whole thing about immigration. The whole thing is about how we deal with it. And if we don't talk to Europe, actually it makes immigration far worse. And that's what the point is, that we need to look at how we deal with Europe in order to try and support and work together in terms of restricting borders, in terms of stopping people coming in. We've done that with an agreement just now with France to put up fences to stop people coming onto the trains coming through the tunnel. And so we work together to do that. And we can restrict immigration a lot better that way than trying to do it without any real border control.
What do you say to that, John Mann?
What I say is that the European Union has failed and its structures failed. I'll give an example. Chancellor Merkel unilaterally decided on behalf of Germany to have 1 million Syrians come to Germany. But what was less noticed was also allowed huge numbers of Kosovans to come to Germany, because the German economists are saying we need 3 million more workers in Germany. Well, that's perfectly reasonable for her in Germany to decide that, but that has a huge impact on the rest of the European Union at the same time. And this concept of the European citizen rather than the British citizen, the German citizen, is the fundamental fault line in the European Union that it cannot fix. If that was fixed, it would be a different proposition, but it can't be. And that's why the issue of immigration's so toxic. We don't know what will happen in 10, 20, 30 years' time, and we have no control over it.
But the only way we're going to know what's going to happen is if we engage with it, if we make the decisions from the inside to make sure that things go the way that we want them to go. We are the final destination. If we don't cooperate with Europe, we don't cooperate with France, the borders are open, and the French have no incentive or no reason to let people come through. And if they come through, then we're burdened with far more people in terms of immigration than we would be, far more refugees than we would be. We have to work together in order to try and resolve some of these issues. If we don't have a voice on the in, we will not have a voice.
Khalid, we've only got a couple of minutes. I want to just get your reaction to both of Khalid, but I'll come to you first. We've been told by a number of Labour politicians on both sides of the argument, most of them in favour of Remain, as you know, that it's proving a bit of a struggle. It could be a bit of a struggle to get the Labour vote out for Remain. Have you found that too?
Well, the reason why I joined is that we want to make sure that we get the vote out much more effectively because of the issues. As you said, my issues about workers' rights. We need to make
but
people
is it a struggle?
aware of those
I've only
issues.
got a few seconds.
Yes,
is it a struggle?
Well, we're working hard to make sure that we get people out. Yes, I think that's why I want to join in. I want to make sure that we push forward and get people to understand to make a proper decision on this.
And John Mann, you think it's a bit of a struggle too, I understand.
Well, most people are making up their own minds, and the Westminster bubble debate, and indeed the Leave campaign versus the Remain campaign, that's not the same as the debate going on in workplaces and in households in the country. There's an entirely different debate going on. People are making their judgment, and it's quite clear that the Labour Party is not entirely in touch with Labour voters on this issue.
All right, we'll go to leave it there. I thank you both for joining us.